little spirituality video for anybody that's interested. The last few days have been really rough for me because I have PTSD that stems from my time in the military. And, I've been a little bit open on this app about my history with certain types of trauma, yada, yada, yada. We're not going to talk about that. But, we are going to talk about Don't Ask, Don't Tell and how fun that was. I was just thinking tonight, what is today? It's Monday, February 3rd, 2025. Sorry, this is just for my documentation. I make these little videos for myself, but people on the internet seem to like them, so hello. I was just thinking about, I was like almost in my 40s before I felt comfortable being out at work. 40. And I remember I was working at a financial firm at the time, and I was around a bunch of guys who were like all military veterans too. And I was like totally paranoid. I had this really horrible like vibe, are they gonna like me? It was such a crazy time in my life too. I was transitioning into a new industry. It was so weird. And all of a sudden, I was like around all these military guys again for the first time. And I had such a bad experience serving under Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I was a jet engine mechanic. Like, when you talk about the definition of toxic masculinity, it was literally every man that lived between the years of 1995 and 2005. You know what I mean? It was that 10-year period where all the guys were listening to like Limp Bizkit. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with a Limp Bizkit, but for some reason, that whole era of music was just like Limp Bizkit and Korn and white guys being really angry and really aggressive toward other guys. That was that culture back then, you know? And I served with a bunch of those guys in the military. It was horrible. It was awful. They treated me like absolute dog shit. They made fun of me constantly because I was gay. The whole point of that whole experience in the military was, let's make this guy's life as miserable as we possibly can so that he will voluntarily withdraw from the military and get myself kicked out, which I did not do. However, I suffered a tremendous amount of psychological distress in the process. And to this day, really hard time trusting people and being friends. And that's a whole thing. Oh my God. Just a whole thing. So anyways, I get into my, I'm like almost, I think 39 or whatever. And I was starting a new career, working in finance at this financial firm. And I was working the night shift, which I'd never done before. And I was terrified, and I was around all these military guys, and it turned out to be like the absolute best experience of my life. It was the first time I was around guys that just accepted me, and it was like no big deal. And they were all very smart and wonderful men, like the best guys you could possibly ever hope to meet. They were all very sweet, very sincere, and I loved every single one of them. And I worked there for about 4 years, I guess, and the pandemic hit, and that kind of ruined everything. But and then I just sort of moved on with my life from there. But man, how different life is when we are accepting and nice to each other. When, we don't punish each other for just simply being different. When we're tolerant and accepting and loving and embracing. It was the one of the best work experiences I've ever had, truly. Those guys were wonderful. They treated me like a friend, like a human being. And that experience was healing and cathartic. So when I hear Donald Trump, doing what he's doing now, just beating up on trans people and gay people and minorities as if we're the problem. No. That culture that they're trying to recreate around whiteness and maleness, that's the problem. It is incredibly toxic because it's based on lies. All of it is a lie. Your skin color does not make you any more or less, or your sexual orientation doesn't make you any more or less competent. It's your merit. It's what you bring to the table. There's a wonderful quote by somebody that says, if you have, in order to feel tall, white people have to make everybody else get on their knees. And that's just a terrible, it's true. It's very true. And it's a problem with white culture. It's a problem with Donald Trump. Donald Trump makes everybody small so he can feel tall, so he can feel like the big man. That's the definition of a bully. I'm going to put you down. I'm going to make you feel small. I'm going to put you in your place so that I can stand over you and just feel proud and arrogant and condescend whenever things don't go the way that I want them to. That's going to be the next 4 years. So I'm going to shut up now because this is going on for too long. I love all of you. Please be nice to each other. Just basic human niceness, smile, friendship, compassion. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. And if you're struggling with fear, realize that that is coming from you. Therefore, the solution is within yourself. Meditate. Let the fear come, let it go, work on it. Take very small steps to overcome those fears. If you're afraid of gay people, it might be because you yourself are actually gay. That's kind of how that works. You should really come to terms with that. That way you stop projecting your hate onto the rest of us that did absolutely nothing wrong. We're just living our lives fearlessly, authentically. And that's why people like us. That's why gay people are interesting. You're watching this? Anyways, I'm going to go. I love you. Work on yourself, straight guys. Goodbye.